Thalia scrubbed the countertop. Again, the game played on. England versus Croatia. Semi-finals. She glanced at the clock. Half-time. Relief. A moment to breathe. Mark would be back soon. Loud, demanding, reeking of beer and disappointment if England lost. Her stomach churned. She hated these nights, the tension, the fear. Still, tonight, a sliver of hope lingered. England winning meant Mark happy meant safety, for now. Earlier, sorting laundry, Thalia found Mark's pay slip. His bonus alone dwarfed her entire salary. Same company, different departments, different worlds. Resentment simmered. Not just the money, the respect, the opportunities. Mark swaggering around, bragging about his important job. Her work, invisible, undervalued, like her. The memory of Mark's dismissive laughter when she mentioned a promotion stung. Don't get ahead of yourself, love. Stick to what you're good at, meaning cleaning, serving, enduring. The whistle blew, second half. Thalia's heart pounded like a drum. England losing, Mark's mood darkening. She flinched at every misplaced pass, every missed goal. His silence was worse than his shouts. A heavy, suffocating presence that filled the room. She tiptoed around him, invisible, trying to disappear. Please, England, win, she thought desperately, not for national pride, but for her own fragile safety, for a night without his fists, without his rage. The final whistle pierced the air. Defeat. Thalia's heart sank. She braced herself. Mark erupted, a torrent of curses and fury. The television remote flew across the room, smashing against the wall. Terror choked her. He turned on her, eyes blazing. Useless, just like your team. His words stung, but the look in his eyes cut deeper. He loomed over her, a menacing shadow. This was it. The familiar dread whispered. Tonight it would be worse. Tonight she would break. The phone rang, breaking the tension. Gabby, her cheerful voice, a lifeline. Come on, Thal, let's drown our sorrows. Girls' night out. Mark hesitated, his anger momentarily diverted. Don't be late, he growled. Thalia grabbed her bag, a flicker of hope igniting in the darkness. This wasn't escape, not really, but it was a breath of air. A chance to think, to breathe, to be someone other than Mark's shadow. Gabby's warmth enveloped Thalia as she stepped into the pub. The air buzzed with chatter and laughter, a stark contrast to the suffocating silence of her own home. You okay? Gabby asked, her eyes full of concern. The dam broke. Thalia poured out her heart, the words tumbling over each other, years of pent-up pain and fear spilling into the light. Gabby listened, her gaze unwavering. No judgment, only understanding, and a strength Thalia had forgotten she possessed. Come home with me, Gabby said, her voice firm. It wasn't just an invitation, it was a lifeline, a beacon in the dark night that surrounded them. Gabby's eyes were filled with determination, a silent promise that she would protect Thalia no matter what. Thalia hesitated, fear warring with a desperate longing for safety. Her mind raced, thoughts colliding in a chaotic storm. She had been living in fear for so long that the idea of safety seemed almost foreign, a distant dream she could barely grasp. He'll be furious, she whispered, her voice trembling. The mere thought of his anger sent shivers down her spine. She had seen his fury before, felt its sting, and the scars it left were not just physical, but etched deep into her soul. He'll be furious either way, Gabby countered gently. Her voice was a soothing balm, a stark contrast to the turmoil in Thalia's heart. Gabby's words were not just a statement, but a truth that Thalia needed to hear. But at my place, you'll be safe. Gabby's assurance was like a warm blanket on a cold night, wrapping Thalia in a sense of security she hadn't felt in years. It was a promise of a new beginning, a chance to reclaim her life. The words hung in the air, a promise of sanctuary. They were more than just words. They were a lifeline, a beacon of hope in the darkness that had enveloped Thalia for so long. The city lights in the distance seemed to twinkle with newfound promise. Thalia took a deep breath, the night air filling her lungs with a newfound sense of purpose. It was as if the very act of breathing was a declaration of her intent to survive, to thrive, to break free from the chains that had bound her. This was it, the turning point, the moment when she would take control of her destiny. She could feel the weight of her past lifting, replaced by a sense of determination that was both terrifying and exhilarating. She wouldn't be another statistic, another silent victim. Thalia was ready to rewrite her story. to step into the unknown with courage and conviction. She walked forward, each step a testament to her strength, her resolve, and her unyielding spirit. The streets were quiet as they drove away, leaving behind the life Thalia had known. Fear still lingered, a shadow in the corners of her mind, but it was different now, a fear she could face. She looked at Gabby, her heart overflowing with gratitude. This wasn't just about escaping Mark, it was about reclaiming her life, her dignity, herself. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, Thalia felt a glimmer of hope. She was free. The police station felt cold and sterile. The walls were a stark white, the floors a polished grey, and the air carried a sense of foreboding. It was a place where stories of pain and resilience intersected, where the echoes of past traumas lingered in the silence. Thalia's voice shook as she recounted the years of abuse, the fear, the despair. Her words were heavy with the weight of her experiences, each sentence a testament to her endurance. She spoke of nights filled with terror, days overshadowed by dread, and the constant feeling of being trapped in a never-ending nightmare. But with each word, she felt a weight lifting from her shoulders. It was as if the act of speaking was a release, a way to unburden her soul. The more she shared, the more she felt a sense of liberation, a glimmer of hope that had been absent for so long. The female officer listened with compassion, her gaze steady and reassuring. She nodded gently, her eyes reflecting understanding and empathy. In that moment, Thalia felt seen, truly seen, for the first time in years. The officer's presence was a beacon of support, a reminder that she was not alone in her struggle. "You are so brave," she said, her words a balm to Thalia's wounded spirit. The officer's voice was soft yet firm, carrying a conviction that Thalia had long forgotten. Those simple words held immense power, offering a sense of validation and encouragement that Thalia desperately needed. For so long, Thalia had equated silence with strength. She believed that enduring quietly was a sign of resilience, that hiding her pain was a way to protect herself. But now, as she reflected on her journey, she began to question that belief. She realized that silence had only deepened her wounds, isolating her further. But in that moment, she realized that true strength lay in vulnerability, in speaking her truth. It was in the act of sharing her story, of exposing her pain, that she found a new kind of power. A power that came from being honest with herself and others, from refusing to hide any longer, in refusing to be silenced any longer. Thalia walked out of the police station with a newfound confidence, her steps lighter, her heart a little less burdened. She knew the road ahead would not be easy, but she also knew that she had taken the first step towards healing, and that in itself was a victory. The shelter was a haven, a place of healing and support. Surrounded by other women who understood her pain, Thalia began to rebuild her life, brick by fragile brick. She found a job, a small but significant step towards independence. She started therapy, confronting the demons that had haunted her for so long. The journey wasn't easy. There were setbacks, moments of doubt and despair. But Thalia clung onto the hope that had ignited within her that fateful night. She was a survivor. Years later, Thalia stood tall, her eyes reflecting a strength she never knew she possessed. The journey had been long and arduous, filled with moments of doubt and despair, but now, as she gazed at the rising sun, she felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The scared, broken woman she once was felt like a distant memory. She remembered the nights filled with tears and the days when hope seemed like a distant dream. But those days were behind her now, replaced by a newfound confidence and inner strength. She was a successful businesswoman, having climbed the corporate ladder through sheer grit and perseverance. Her office was a testament to her hard work, filled with accolades and awards that recognized her achievements. An advocate for victims of domestic violence, using her platform to raise awareness and support those in need. She spoke at events, sharing her story to inspire and empower others to break free from their own chains, a beacon of hope for those trapped in the darkness. Her words resonated with many, offering a glimmer of light in their darkest hours. She had become a symbol of resilience and hope, showing that it was possible to overcome even the most harrowing of circumstances. The scars of the past remained, a reminder of her resilience. Each scar told a story of survival, of battles fought and won. They were a testament to her strength and a reminder of how far she had come. But they no longer defined her. She had learned to embrace her past, not as a source of pain, but as a source of power. She walked with her head held high, knowing that her experiences had shaped her into the woman she was today. Thalia had found her voice, a voice that was strong and unwavering. She used it to advocate for change, to speak out against injustice, and to support those who needed it most. Her voice had become a powerful tool for transformation. Her purpose, her freedom. She had discovered a sense of freedom that came from living authentically and unapologetically. She celebrated her victories, both big and small, with the people who mattered most to her, and she knew with unwavering certainty that the best was yet to come. The future was filled with endless possibilities, and she was ready to embrace them all. She stood on the hilltop looking out at the horizon, filled with hope and anticipation for what lay ahead, that the best was yet to come. With each step she took, she moved closer to her dreams, confident in her ability to achieve them. The sunrise symbolized a new beginning, a brighter future that was hers for the taking.